So let's get started.
Oh, Uh, one thing,
Okay.
whenever probably we start, I'll have like a couple of questions. It's like some of these methods, I find it kind of hard to understand them.
Oh, okay.
Yes, I read about them, but some I understand, but some they kind of don't make sense to me.
Then that makes sense.
Yeah, I
Okay.
think
Let's
when I was,
let's quickly
yeah,
go over them. Oh, yeah, I can see your screen now.
okay, let me turn off this. I'll bring this thing up here. Okay. Um, Let me minimize this one. Probably at the bottom. Okay. Okay.
So, like I said, it's actually you won't be using most of, I mean, you won't be using some of the methods, but there are some that are very important that you almost, I mean,
Okay.
mostly in your this thing.
Okay.
Like
This one is the cat one. Let me import. Let me open a file. Okay. This one. Okay. All right. So this is what I've done so far. And mm, okay. The remove suffix replace is okay. And wave is okay. The count, this one.
yeah.
Okay, this count, I try to look at it from here, okay? And when like this one, the first one here, it counted three. And this is the one that I don't understand. You
Okay.
see, this one I don't understand. And then this one too. When they put it in a structure like this, what does it mean?
So for every
And
method,
why the result is one, you know?
yeah. So the the output you got was coming from
Mhm.
the start and the end that you put there, 5 and 10. So you're saying start counting from the fifth character.
Oh, from the fifth character.
Yeah. And the fifth character is, 1, 2, 3, 4. The first span is five. I mean, five,
Okay.
6, 8
Oh, the first, so this one is five.
is excluded. Yeah, like the first one, the first span with the comma is excluded. They can't started
Oh,
from the fifth character. Or even
which
if,
is the space,
yeah,
or which is the spam, which is S.
yeah, from that second one there.
Okay.
Then it goes on to the 10th character. So it's just saying from the fifth character to the 10th character, how many
Mm-hmm.
spam can you get from there?
Oh, you see, it makes sense now. So from the fifth character to the 10th, how many spam can you get? And then that's what is one.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so now the second one. The second one is
It's
start
saying
from the
start
fifth.
from the fifth.
If you start from the fifth,
It's
which
going,
is so that's why you get two, these two.
yeah, it's going to give you two.
Oh, okay, okay, okay. So whenever you put it like this, is like from, that is what I said. Oh, start here
Start,
and then
then
end here.
exactly.
Okay, so basically, the thing inside is the character. So the S is one, P two, and then the five. So from this one to the 10th, okay, from 5 to 10, so you only get one. Oh, I get it now.
Yeah. So
Okay, okay.
today also, hopefully, we'll be talking about indexing in Python.
Mm-hmm.
That is how you count characters.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
So Python starts from zero.
Okay,
Python
okay. You
starts from
see,
zero.
yeah. So you see, that's why when I was doing this, I'm like, the first one I can understand it, but the second one, I didn't know it was counting from the character. Okay, I get it. But there are a few things like that. Let's start it, and then if I have more question, I'll let you know. Thank you very much, sir.
Yeah, you're welcome. You're
I'll
welcome.
stop sharing.
Okay. All
Mm.
right. So all right, sorry, my light is staying somewhere. Let's just go to any other question before we dive into what we have in plan for today. All right. So we talked about variables in the last class, and I said variable anywhere you can use a value, you can as well replace it with a variable. And the structure for declaring a variable or instantiating a variable is you have the variable you have the variable name, you have it on the left, followed by the equal sign, which is called an assignment operator. Then after the equal sign, you have the value there, which could be a string data type or an integer or a floating like a float. So and anywhere you can use the anywhere you can basically just reference a value with a variable name. And I'm coming, please. I want to let me share my Visual Studio Code. All right. You're seeing both my slide, both the slide and the Visual Studio Code, right?
Yes.
Okay, all right. So, I have this. Sorry, let me copy it from here. So I have this example here. We actually just want to print out the cost of an orange. So the cost of an orange. And I'm using variable here. So the first thing I'm doing is I'm declaring, I'm having a variable called oranges. That is the number of oranges. Let me make it more descriptive. NO orange, that is number of oranges. Then I'm having it to be 12. And cost per orange, I'm declaring it to be 0.5, let's say $0.5 or 5 cents. And to calculate the total cost, like remember I said we could use anywhere you can use the value, you can use the variable, right? So we are also declaring another variable called the total cost, which is going to store the operation, actually the calculation of oranges by the multiplication of oranges by the number of by the cost, by cost per one. So which is going to be number of oranges times cost per orange, and we have the result will be stored there. So this line is basically just doing 12 times 0.5. That is what you have there. But you can just see the way I'm using the variable here. We declare variable for the for the value itself, and we are creating another variable for what's it called? The product of the two variables here. And we want to print out the let me do this. Let me ask us what's going to happen. So if I do this, if I say n oranges, and let me move this. So is the code going to run? If I should run it like this, is the code going to run?
Is that like a variable in the string together?
Sorry?
Is it not supposed to be a string in the string without mixing a variable in the string? Do we have to mix the two to run the...
You're also asking me a question like that.
Oh, okay.
So I asked, if we run this, is it going to run successfully or there's going to be an error? Nobody to
I
answer.
think it's gonna run successfully.
No, it's going to give an error.
Why? Because there is this thing, the 12.
The number of oranges is an integer. And remember,
Oh yeah,
you cannot do
yeah.
concatenation with
Yeah.
integer and a string. So like that, to print that, and what can we do?
You
What
can
can we
put
do?
it in quotation.
String str like this.
If I put it in quotation, do you think it's
Yeah.
going to work?
So you're trying to do.
Is it going to work like this? Now, n on number of oranges is no longer a variable. It is now a string.
That's right.
So this is not going to work.
It's
And
not gonna work either.
yeah, it's not going to work. It has turned to turned to a string like this. So it's no longer
Uh-huh.
it's no longer, I mean, it will no longer reference the value it was assigned to.
Ah, okay.
Yeah. Any other suggestion?
It will be to remove the string on both.
Like to remove the quote, right?
Yeah, yeah. The quotes on both.
Both in what sense? I should remove this.
Yes.
Why?
What do you think?
Don't
No,
just don't just give me like a
there's a mistake.
guesswork. Think of try to recall what we've talked about in the past and use
Oh,
that to form your whatever suggestion you're going to give. So definitely this is not going to work because we want oranges to come out as what we want to print is we want to say 12 oranges cost the next line cost, the whatever amounts we calculated. So that's what we want.
okay. Oh, okay.
So instead of putting number of oranges there, can you put str then you put the 12 in bracket like as a string.
Exactly. So we call that typecasting.
Typecasting. Okay.
Typecasting. So typecasting in programming generally is converting a variable from one data type to another, converting a value from one data type to another. Yeah.
Okay.
And that is the work of the str. So str basically converts a number to a string.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a function that converts number to strings.
Mm.
Yeah. And if we do this, same thing as this is not going to work because we are trying to concatenate a string and a number.
Yeah.
So we also need to do the typecast.
For typecasts.
Yeah. So we also like this, we've converted total cost to what was it called? To a string. But mind you, the change is not permanent.
Mm.
So it's just the conversion to string is only applicable to where we are using it here, where we are converting it. So total cost still remains an what's it called? Like a number. Do you get that? What I'm
That's
saying
right.
is, if I do print, there's another function which is called type. And what that function does is it returns the data type of a variable or of a value. So now we want to, after we've printed this, we also want to check the type of total cost. And you see that it still remains, let me clear this. You'll see that it still remains a float because of 12 times 0.5 is going to result in float 6.0 or so. Yeah, so this is still going to remain a numerical data type basically. And if we run this, yeah, you see 12 oranges cost $6. And you can see the type. We try to get the type of this, and you see it tells us that okay, it's a float. So this str that I'm applying here doesn't permanently change the data type. It only applies to that line of code where you're applying it. Do you get what I'm trying to say?
Mm.
Any confusion?
Yeah, I'm still confused about the STR. So let's go over it one more time.
Okay. So
Mm.
str is a function that
Mm-hmm.
converts a numerical data type, be it integer or float, to string.
Okay, to strength. Okay.
To string. So,
Mm-hmm.
and now we said, remember from the rule of concatenation, when we're talking about strings, you can only concatenate two or more strings together. You cannot concatenate a numerical value with a string.
True. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and because of that, we needed to, what we want to print out is, we wanted to say, let me just make everything into a line. Let me make everything into a line. Yeah. So what we want to print out is to say 12 oranges cost whatever the total amount is, but then because I've done the calculation,
6.0 or
6.0.
something.
Yeah. So that's what we want to do.
Okay. That's what we want to get.
Yeah, that's what we want, the output we want to get.
Okay.
But we already know we cannot, number of oranges is pointing to 12, is referencing an integer.
That's right.
Yeah. And according to the rule of concatenation, you cannot concatenate a number with a string.
Okay.
Yes.
So to avoid that, and remember, I already told you there's a function that converts number to string.
Number to string. Okay.
Yeah. That means we need to apply that method. We need to
Yes.
apply that function so that this can go, like this can, so that we'll be able to do the concatenation.
Yes.
The problem is that we want to do concatenation, but we cannot concatenate a number with a string. What's now the way forward to solve that problem? That means we need to convert number of oranges to string.
Yeah.
And that is why we are applying str.
Okay.
Yeah. Now I'm now saying applying str in this line of code does not doesn't change the data type of number of oranges in like entirely. The change only apply to this line of code. If you call total if you call number of oranges after, sorry, I think this should have been total number of oranges. If you call number of oranges after this line of code, the data type is still, Python is still going to be treating it as an integer.
Okay.
So that's what I'm trying to say. So this conversion from number to string only applies to the print inside this print statement.
Okay.
Yeah, so the change is not permanent. If you want to make the change permanent, what we can do is to override the number of oranges variable to say number of oranges equals to str number of oranges. That is, up to this point, number of oranges is 12, which is an integer. But we're now saying let number of oranges again be str, that is the conversion of what number of oranges used to be, and make it a string. So henceforth, now we are now assigning it to a variable. So that means when we call number of oranges from this point onward, when we call number of oranges, is going to be a string now.
That's right.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's how to make the change permanent. But if we just call str number of oranges, we are not assigning it to any variable. So it's just the conversion is just happening at that instance alone.
Okay. So it has to be equals to.
Yeah, if you want it to be permanent, it has to be equal to, you have to assign it to a variable.
Okay. Okay.
Is that clear? Or is there still a confusion? Please, like, let me know if you still find it confusing.
We're getting there. We're getting there.
Okay. So let me run this again and we see it says 12 oranges cost 6.0. So,
Okay.
and when I try to print the the type of number of oranges, it returns integer.
Integer. Oh, okay.
The data type has not changed, even though we did the conversion here. The data type has still not changed permanently. It only changed for this use alone, for it to be used at this point alone, not totally in the script, not like it changes throughout the the code. Yeah. So that is that about that. And I mean, this kind of proved the importance of using variable. The importance of using variable, because
Okay.
yeah, you see that we were able to use number of oranges how many times? Like 2 times now.
Mm-hmm.
So if had it been if we had not declared a variable, we have to be writing. Well, I mean, we have to be putting the value itself, say 12. Then which other point? Yeah, at this point also we have to say 12. But declaring a variable, assigning it to a variable saves that stress. And
Mm.
even if we make a change, if we make a change on the number of oranges or anything, it's let's say we're going to use 12 like 20 times in our code. Declaring it
Mm.
as a variable makes it easier to manage in the sense that if we need to change the number of oranges now, yeah, let's say, I think this is the point I'm trying to make. We have number of oranges 2 times now. Let's say they now say, oh, number of oranges is not 12, it is 10.
Uh-huh.
Number of oranges is 10, not 12. If we had not declared 12, I mean, number of oranges as a variable, we have to change we have to change it 12 times in our line of code. I mean, 2 times in our line of code. That is, we have to change this to 10 and also come here to say 10.
Okay.
But declaring a variable allows us to just make one change.
It corrects everything else.
Yeah, so if we just need to change number of oranges to 10,
Okay.
10, and that change will reflect in every other places we've used number of
Mhm.
oranges.
Okay.
So you see the advantage of using variables now.
Mm.
Yeah. So this same approach is actually what you're going to do in the cat food assignment.
Okay.
Like very straightforward. Aside from the mathematical thing, the mathematical calculation, which I feel like is basic. But then every other thing, the lines of code and every other thing still
Sense.
follows this thing. So just look at the example, try to tell what each line does. Like this one now, what is happening here? We are saying let number of oranges be the store 10. We are storing 10 in number of oranges. Just see it like that. Then the following line, we are also storing 0.5 in a variable called cost per orange.
Mm.
And after that, if we have number of oranges and we have the cost per orange, what's next? The question is that we should calculate the number of the amount it costs to buy, I mean, the total cost of 10 oranges.
That's
And
right.
we're given number of oranges and we're given the cost per orange.
That's
So
right.
once you have that, you agree that the next point is to do the calculation, right?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, and that's what we are doing next. And also to save, what was it called? I mean, it will even make sense to have the number of, to have the calculation stored in another variable. If we don't want to store it in another variable, what we'll be doing here is instead of where we have total cost here,
Mm-hmm.
we won't have total cost there. We'll be doing the calculation itself inside it. Do you get what I did there? If we had not stored a number of oranges multiplied by cost per orange, if we didn't store it in any variable,
Uh-huh.
and we need to do the calculation and print it out, right? So it will mean
Mm-hmm.
that we'll have to do the calculation inside the print statement itself, which is number of
Uh-huh.
oranges times cost
Okay.
per orange.
Okay.
And we are converting whatever the result is, the string function is converting it to string so that it can be printable.
Okay.
Let me, yeah. So is that, do we get that? I think like there's a confusion again. So if I print this now, you see, we have 10 oranges cost 5.0.
5.0, yeah.
Yeah. So, but it makes sense for easy manage, what's it called? For, what's it called? Yeah, for easy code management, basically, it makes sense to assign it to a variable so that we don't have to, just imagine if they say this is 12 now. Let's say we are not assigning, if they say this is 12 now, we have to do the changes here.
Mm-hmm.
we have to, let's say we have to do the changes here, convert it to 2, then also come back 12 rather, come back here, also do the 12, also come back here, make it 12. Yeah. But when we assign the two, I mean the calculation, when we assign it to a variable, we just have to do the changes once.
That's right.
Just have to do the changes once. So that's the advantage of using a variable. And one thing, the way you can go about declaring a variable to know when to create a variable or not is when you know you are going to be using that. I mean, you're going to be using that value more than one time. And
Okay.
it's advisable that you create you make it into a variable. You store it into a variable. Do we get that?
That's right.
Yeah.
You make
So
it if you know you are going to use it more than twice, then you can make it a variable.
then make it a variable.
Okay.
Yeah. And which other one? Okay, yeah. So like another point is that a variable can be put anywhere that a data value can be used. Of course, yeah. So just like you can use this interchangeably, instead of a value, anywhere you can put a value, you can definitely put a variable there. So far that variable is referencing, or you've already stored that value in that variable. So then there's a string method. Also, we started with string method in the last class. We talked about capitalize, upper, starts with, and the likes. So there's another one called format. And that one is gives us like an alternative to this solution that we have, this print statement that we did now. So this format gives like an alternative to that. So in programming, basically, most of the time, there are different ways to arrive at a solution. You can have different approaches. If we have a problem and they give it to me to solve, the approach or the code I will write may be different from what someone else will write. So there's no one way or anything. But the best thing is just that you understand the fundamentals, and once you understand the fundamentals, you're able to decide on which one you want to use. Yeah. So this same thing that I did here now, this str number of oranges, plus str total cost and everything. If I want to do that without having to do to avoid the hassle of using the string, the str function, I can as well say, I can do this. Print. The function of print is to output something, right? So the message I want to pass into it is curly brackets, curly brackets, oranges, cost, another curly bracket, open and close. And at the end of it, at the end of the last quote, the end of that string value, I'm saying I want to apply the format method. And because it's a method, it must be followed by what? Answer me.
Parentheses.
Exactly. It must be followed by open and close parentheses because it's a method.
Yes.
Just like a function. And inside it, you put so this what you have, these curly braces, they are called the placeholder. Placeholder. More like there's a value should be here, but we don't know what that value is yet. But just represent it with this. But Python has like a special what was it called? Recognition for this symbol when you have it in a string. Python refers to it as a placeholder. So Python knows that a value should be here, but you don't know that value yet. And that value later, you are going to pass that value after you've written your script. Sorry, after you've declared your string. So what we are now going to do inside this format is the value that we want to put in this placeholder. We're going to put it inside our format in the order we want them. Like here now, we want number of oranges to be here, right? That is number of oranges, which is going to be 12 oranges, cost. What should be here?
0.5.
Which is stored in what? No. Yeah. What we want here is the number of oranges, cost, like an amount, right?
Yeah.
So what should be here? Just like we have it here.
Number.
Maybe I'm not clear. We want the same thing that we have here.
Uh-huh.
Same thing that we have here. That's it is the same output we are looking to get. But now we put a placeholder here, we put a placeholder here. And I'm
Uh-huh.
saying what you want to be in those placeholder, what should have been in that position, you pass it inside format. So what should have been here?
12.
The 12 times. Yeah.
12.
12. Yeah, 12.
Yes, 12 will be there, and then 0.6, I mean,
0.5.
6.0 will be on the last one.
Am I just going to put 12 here?
12 in probably a string,
No.
or we can
What,
put it
what I
in,
expect is 12 is
Yeah.
already stored in a variable.
Yeah.
So we're not just putting 12 here. We are putting the variable name there. Number of oranges.
yes,
And also here you said 6.0. So where is 6.0 being stored?
is going to be start in total cost.
Total cost, exactly. So we'll be doing number of oranges, comma, then total cost. So if I commented this now and I run, you see, we still have 12 oranges cost 6.0.
Oh, okay. Basically, you're replacing the thing with
Number 14.
the variable. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Number
this using format saves us the stress of you see right now we are not doing concatenation now. We're not even doing concatenation, and we're able to pass number of oranges as it is. That is as integer as integer as it is, we're able to pass it into our string with no error. And that is what format does. Format basically helps us to what is it called? Fill our placeholder. And it doesn't care what format, what data type it is.
Mm.
So let's say we have let's even do it like this. So basically this is what we are doing. Let's say outputs. So the string is what we want to say the number of oranges, like 12 oranges cost 6.0. But 12 is stored in a variable, right? So that means we represent it with a placeholder. That's like the format, I mean, the way we go about using it. Then we have oranges cost, the total cost. Then we'll be putting another placeholder. Then at the end, we now say we apply the format method. And inside it, the order of, what was it called? The order of where, the position. You know, like, of course, in this string, the number of oranges will come first, right? Before the total cost. Do you agree with me? Hello?
Yeah, the number of oranges will come first.
Are we confused? I mean, is it confusing? Sorry. Let me know, please. If it's confusing, let me think of another approach I can use to explain it.
I mean, for me, the second one, the last one you did, kind of like I get that one better than the first one. When you're talking about the last one with the print and the format, number of orange, total costs. It looks much easier for me. I don't know for others.
So basically, what format does is it helps us to um like fill placeholders. Is another
Mm.
way another way you can what was it called? Sorry, I've forgotten the word to use now. But just that is a way you can put your placeholder your variable into your string Yeah, just see format as that method. What it does is it helps you to put your variable in your string. And when you put it in your string, it takes what that value, what that variable is referencing, not just the variable name as it is. If what I'm saying is not clear, there's another way you can even do it without formatting. There's another way we can do it. So we use it's called the F, what's it called? F format, or is it? Yeah, F format, I think. So when you're declaring your string, you put F before the quote, and you can put
Number 40.
you can put the variable directly into your string. And Python is going to, so Python, at this point now, Python is not going to, let me do this. Yeah. So Python is not going to see the number of oranges as text alone. It's going to be picking the value they are referencing. And there's no, I mean, you won't have to even use the string method or anything. You won't have to deal with, what's it called, conversion, typecasting. So if I run this, we're still going to have the same output. You see, 12 oranges cost 0.5. Sorry, I put cost per orange here. It should be total cost. So if I run this, we see 12 oranges cost 6.0, 12 oranges cost 6.0. This same thing, this same code, different lines of, different code, but the same output.
Okay.
So if you want to be able to fill your string with like a variable, so these are the approaches you can use. You see, this is even more readable than you having to do concatenation.
That's right.
Yeah, you having to do concatenation. So there are different ways you can do that. A different way. And this one now, we are not having to create different strings. Yeah, you can see we are actually concatenating 3 strings. We are printing out 3 strings. We have one being the number of oranges, this one being oranges cost, and another one here. But using this approach, the format approach, we are declaring just one string, and inside it, we are able to, find a way to put our variables there. So that's basically how you, do placeholding in Python. Let me see if there's any other example I put here.
So in our homework, are we going to try to use all those 3 different types, or we can just choose and pick which one we want to use?
Just one. Anyone you can remember, just use it.
Okay.
Yeah, anyone you can remember. Most of the time in my code, this is the one I use. Like this is the approach this F1 is, well, it's very easy to remember. So that's what I use. But sometimes I might be warranted to use this dot format. Just depends on the one that will make your work easier.
Okay.
Yeah, the one that will make your work easier. You can choose to use concatenation. You can choose to use this format approach or anything. So that's basically how format works. And not just 2, it could be 3.
Okay.
You can have, it could be any number. Let's say 12 oranges cost, or let's not even do that again now. Let's have another example. Let's say I have a name. My underscore name equals to Gideon. Age. What's it called? I think last week Sunday was my birthday. So let's say age 30, and let's which other thing? My profession. Data engineering, and which other thing? Height. Let me say my height. So my height. 6. Let me just put it like that. 6. So I want to make a statement. I want to say output. And I'll be saying my name. But because my name is already stored in a variable, so I'll be using a placeholder there. My name. Sorry. My name is, because my name is already stored in a variable, so I'll be using a placeholder there. My name is Gideon. I am dash years old, right? Because my age is already stored in a variable. Then I'll give another
Okay.
placeholder here.
Mm-hmm.
I am dash years old.
Mm-hmm.
I am my profession, data engineer, is already stored
Already.
in a variable. So I'll be using a placeholder.
Mm-hmm.
I am a data, sorry, I put data engineering here. Or let's just leave it at engineering. I do data engineering. I do data engineering,
Mm-hmm.
and I am dash, I wanted to talk about my height. So I am 6, then I'll be using a placeholder. Let's say feet tall. So this is the sentence I want to make, that I want to print out. And
Mm-hmm.
so I said there are 2 ways I can go about it. I can use the format,
Mm-hmm.
and inside that format, I'll be putting the variables in the order they appear in the screen, in the string. So the first one that I will be passing is going to be what? My name is, what should be here?
Gideon.
Yeah, Gideon. There, but what should be here itself? What should be, where is Gideon stored? What's the variable name holding Gideon? Why are we silent? Of course, you were right. Gideon should be here.
Mm-hmm.
But I said the
Yeah,
essence
but
of this,
Gideon is stored in my name, my
my
underscore name, the variable.
exactly.
So you're gonna put that one there.
Yeah. So we put it here. We put my name first. And
Yeah.
what follows? The placeholder that follows, what should be there?
So this one will be my age.
Age. Yeah, that's right. Where there's age there. That's right.
My
My
age.
age.
Exactly. So followed by, inside my format now, it should be followed by my underscore age. So let me make these readable. Yeah. So what I did there is, if you feel like a line of code is getting too long and you want to continue in the next line, so you use a backward slash.
Okay.
Tell Python that next line is a continuation of this statement. So that's what I just did there. And my age. So what should follow?
My
My
profession.
name is
My profession.
profession, exactly. So my profession.
Oh, that's how you write it. Okay.
Then what should be there? What should be there last?
My height.
My height, exactly. And now I can say print
Output.
output, because the output has been stored in a variable, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Print output. And if I do this, you see, my name is Gideon. I'm 30 years old. I do data engineering and I'm 6 feet tall.
Wow.
Can we
Hold
do
on.
another one? That was nice. That was nice.
Yeah.
That was nice.
Then another thing, and you see now that we never had to like do any typecasting, put my age in any str.
That's right.
Yeah. So that's one of the ways to avoid having to use that str or anything.
Yeah, this looks much easier than the STR one.
The str one, yeah. But then still remember that in case it may not be even in the print statement or anything.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes you may need to use convert. There'll be a need to convert number to a string.
That's right. But that's
So
right.
that's when str also works, not just
Okay.
in the statement or anything like this. Yeah. So then I also said, if you don't want to use the format, this is how format works.
Okay.
I'm just putting it out to us that there's another approach you can do this. There's another way. Let's say output 2. This same one, this
Mm-hmm.
same result, but then we'll be putting F before the in the beginning of before we start writing the what was it called, the string. This is the string, but before the first quote, we're going to be putting F, and now we'll now be putting the variable inside the curly braces one by one in their exact position. So my name, my
Mm-hmm.
age, my profession, and
In my height. Yeah.
so that will also save us the stress. So we won't have to be doing any typecasting or anything. So that we can use those values as they are in our print statements. So if I do output 2, we're going to have the same thing. Let me comment this. So I'm only printing output 2. And after saving my code and I run it, you see we have my name is Gideon, I'm 30 years old, I do data engineering, and I'm 6 feet tall.
Nice.
So, but basically, what we're trying to, the main point of this example or what I'm trying to teach you now is the format method. And I think we got how it works now, right?
That's right. Yeah, this one I got this one.
Yeah, okay,
It
all right.
makes more sense to me.
Okay, all
The
right.
other, the other one is complex, but I have to take some time to study.
But that other one is actually also simple. So basically, what we want to do, what we were doing there is we are doing
Mm-hmm.
concatenation.
Mm-hmm.
Or even though it's like, but then this is like the easier approach to use. Having
Yeah.
to concatenation is like a more tedious process. Having to concatenate 3 different strings together and all. So if you have to print a statement like that, I would advise you also go by this approach.
Okay.
But that doesn't still nullify that sometimes this may not be the solution that you need.
That's right.
Doing this STR conversion and all could be the best way to go. So that is that about the format method. And we also have another method called join. Yeah, the join method. And to use that join method, I will talk about, there's something we call, array. We all know what an array is, right? When I said array of something. Okay, if I say array of cars, what does it mean? I want to believe that's an English word. It's not. Okay, so when they say array, it means what was it called? List of things.
Okay.
Array
List of
of car means like
a
a list of cars,
list of cards. Okay.
things in order. Like array of which other thing example can I make? Um, but basically in programming, array is like an ordered items.
Um,
Ordered items, yeah. You can see that as an ordered items that are in order. So to use this join, you need to understand that concept of ordered items. And the way Python, you declare ordered items in Python is you use, we call it a list,
okay.
a list. So, and when you're declaring a list, it has to be, this is how you declare a list. And one of the ways you declare a list, you use square brackets, open and close square brackets. And everything inside that, everything inside to put your item there, the item could be any, what was it called? Any primitive data types that we've talked about. It could be a float, a string, or an integer. Or let's say I want to put like an order of names now. I want to create a list of names. Gideon, that's one item. Another item is Kabwe, another name. I want to store like I want to create like a list of everybody on this call. I want to put them in like a bucket. You can see a list like a bucket.
Mm.
can see like a bucket. If you want to put a plate inside a bucket, you have to like put one first, put another one, lay another one. It will be like in layer, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so same thing. You can see this list as a bucket, like a container. And now, yeah, you can see like a container. So what I want to do now is I want to create like a list of everybody on this call. I'm
Okay.
creating like a container of names of everybody on this call. We have Mr. Let me check your name. I've forgotten the spelling. Participants. Okay, Mr. Fabrice and Badley. Okay. Fabrice and so what I'm doing here is I'm creating list. This is how you create list or container in Python. List of names. And all these are seen, all this is seen as an entity. And it says that we are, if you have what can I do? What can I do? What expansion can I give? In the garage, you can see this as everything inside this enclosure, like this square bracket, inside this square bracket, you can see it as a garage. And we have in the garage, we can have more than one car, right? Let's say it's a very big garage. You can have more than one car inside, right?
That's right.
Each car is an item in the garage. So same thing with this. This is a list. It is called Python list, and you can see it as a garage. And inside it, you put items inside. So that you see that garage as like a unit with item. I don't know if I'm making sense.
Yeah, it does. It does.
Yeah, but same way you can park a car, you can take a car out of a garage, or you can
That's
put
right.
a car into a garage. Same thing applies to this. You can take these elements you can take these items, you can take them out of it, and you can add to it.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. And what I want to do is, I want to do is as let's say class members. I want to store it in a variable called class members. Yeah. So this class members is referencing a list of names.
Names. That's right.
A list of names. Yeah. So basically, that's what that's like a collection. That's how you declare like a collection in Python, a list of things, a container of things, of items. If I also want to, I can as well make it. It doesn't care what data type you want to put inside. Let's say I also want to put a like age, for instance. I can also add it to it. So in the first position, and it is, like I said, it is ordered. It is ordered. That is, the order is maintained. This one, Gideon is in the first position, followed by Cowboy, followed by Fabrice, followed by Badley, and 30 is the last item in the garage. But of course, I'm only referring, I'm only creating a list of members of this class, so I don't need the 30 there. So the way I've stored the names, or the way I've parked the cars in the garage is Gideon is the first car inside the garage, followed by Cowboy, followed by Fabrice, followed by Badley. So you know that that's like a collection in Python. Now, the join method, the way join method works is you declare your string, and you put what we call like a delimiter. Or like a separator. Let's just call it a separator. So what I want to do now is I'm putting an equal sign. Let's just do it and see. Let me do this. Sorry, I'm not able to. Let me see. Output equals to equal sign, which is in a string, dot join, just to see how join works. And I'm saying class members. So inside join, you put a collection. That is the input it takes. That's the message the join method takes. It must be a collection. It must be like this. It must be something like this. And now if I put class members there, which of course is referencing or which we've stored this value there, this bucket we've stored it there.
That's right.
So if I do it like this and I run print and I say output, let me comment all this. If I say print output, you see what's going to happen. You see what happened? We have Gideon equals to Kabwe equals to Fabrice equals to Badley. And all of this is coming as a single string now. So this is the pattern. The string, the string which you'll be applying the join method should be what you want to be like the separator between these names when you've made everything into a single string.
Okay. So he's linking all the names into one big string.
Into one big string. And whatever you want to be like the separator between them, between each of the items of this collection, should be what you put here. If I want it to be, if I change this to a comma now,
It'll be a comma.
It will be, it's going to be a comma.
A comma, that's right.
Gideon Kabwe. And it could be a space, just a space. If I put just a space, say Gideon Kabwe, Fabrice, and Badley. So let me now make one example that will make sense to you is, let's say I want to do something. Yeah, I want to name everybody in the class. And I can say outputs. Let me just do it like this. I can say, in today's class, we have the following students, or we have the following attendants. Yeah. Then, because I want some names to be there, so I can do no. What am I trying to do? I'm coming, please. In today's class, we have the following attendants. Yeah, we have the following attendants. So because we are referencing a variable, right? We want to put, these are the names we want to put there. Gideon, Cowboy, Fabrice, and this thing. But it's already stored. I mean, it's a collection. It has been put in a collection and already stored.
Put class underscore numbers there.
Yeah, in class underscore members. So that means we need a placeholder here. And we can do format. Remember, if you need to put a variable in your string, that's when format comes in, right? So we'll be using the format method, and inside it is going to be the variable, right? But if we put just the variable name, if we put class members, it's going to come as a collection like this. The square bracket is even going to be there. Let me show us. You see how it came, but I don't want it to come as a collection. I want it to be like, in today's class, we have the following attendants: Gideon, Kabwe, Fabrice, and Badley. So the way I can do that is to now apply the join to say, okay, let this be the separator between them, a comma, dot join, and I can put class member. I can join the class members. And if I have that and I run this now, you see, each of the elements has been, what's it called, put into the statement. So we have, in today's class, we have the following attendants: Gideon, Kabwe, Fabrice, and Badley. Oh, sorry, I put, apologies. This should have been in uppercase. So we have, in today's class, we have the following attendants. And so basically, when you have a collection and you want to like extract each of the elements, you want to put, what's it called? You want to make each of the elements into your string as a part of your string, that is what you use the join method. You'll be joining the separator you want. You'll be joining, that's what you'll be joining with, what's it called, the collection. So just all these things may not really be making sense to you per se now, but I'll give you like a typical scenario as part of your assignment. I'll give you like a typical scenario that will,
Okay.
and trust me, once you see the problem, it will right away click that, oh, this is the method I should be using in this solution. So just understand how they work now, how these methods, how they work, how we've been applying them, the way their function, the particular tasks they are doing. So when the problem arises, you remember that, oh, there's a method that can do something like this, and that's how you get to incorporate them into your program.
Okay.
That makes sense.
Yeah. Then there's also something called slicing in Python, not just in Python, in programming generally. And slicing is basically how you extract slicing for a string. Slicing is how you extract a substring. I have my name equals to Fabrice. Let's say there's a task that needs us to like pick the some letters from some characters of our name. We want a substring. I believe you all know what a substring is. Like substring is like a part of what's it called? Part of a whole. So, like want to pick some, not all the characters here, but some of the elements. Want to unpick some of the characters that made up a string. That's what we mean by a substring. So with slicing allows us to do that.
Okay.
Let's say we have Fabrics now. There's a problem that requires us to pick just the B. We want to pick the B from it. Pick the B from it. So that's what slicing is all about. Or let's say you want to pick like just the first three letters.
Okay.
The first three letters of a string, or the what was it called? The middle six letters, something like that. Whatever that has to do with getting a substring, getting a smaller part of a whole string. Whatever requires you to do that, the approach you use is what we call slicing. And the way it works in Python is initially, string is also like a collection. You can see string as a collection. But when you have a string is always made up of characters, right? This particular string, which is Fabrice, is made up of how many characters?
7.
7. That is
1,
1,
2,
2,
3,
3,
4.
5, 6, 7. Yes, you're right. It's made up of 6 characters. And those 6 characters have their position. Which one is in the first position?
The
F,
Followed by what? Which one is in the second position?
A,
A,
Third position.
B,
B,
Which one is in the last position?
E.
E.
Exactly. So you can reference them by their position,
Okay.
which is what we call indexing in Python, or in programming generally, indexing.
Okay.
We call it indexing in Python. And indexing in Python starts from 0.
Okay.
If you have to tell the position of let's say you have like a collection, or a collection basically, and you want to be able to tell their position, Python starts counting from 0.
Got you.
So the character in the zeroth position is
Will be
what
F.
will be F.
F.
Yeah.
The one in the position 1 is going to be what?
A.
A. The one in position 2 is going to be what?
D.
E.
The one in the 8th position is going to be what?
In the 6th position. Or
8th position. Do we have any 8th position?
8? No.
Seventh position.
Because
We have
this is a
seventh position.
seven characters. So from 0, the last character will be 6.
The last
That's right.
index is going to be 6.
Yeah, the last index will be 6.
Will be 6 exactly. You are right. So now to do slicing,
Mhm.
the way with the format or the pattern the format is the right word. That is the pattern basically is the string. You put the string, but because we already stored the string we already put the string in a variable. So instead of writing the string itself, we'll be using the variable name, my name, and it will be followed by square brackets, open and close square brackets. If you want to do indexing in Python, that's how you go about it. Let me print this out. Let me print to do indexing or slicing. After you've mentioned the variable name or the value itself, you put square bracket followed by square open and close square bracket. It is inside that square bracket that you'll be putting the number of you'll be putting the index. Let's say I want to extract the first letter now, and I put 0 here. When I print this, it's going to give me just F.
Mm.
If I put 1, it's going to give me A. If I put 7, it's going to give me an error because there's nothing in the position 7. You see you see the error now?
That's right.
Index error. String index out of range. Which is telling me that there's nothing in position 7. If I put 6, it's going to give me E. Because indexing starts at 0. F is, let me put it as a comment here. F is in position 0. I is in position 1. B is in position 2. R is in position 3. I is in position 4. C is in position 5. And E is in position 6. So that's basically how you do indexing in Python. But now to do the slicing, which I'm saying, and we cannot do, if I put 1, 6 here, or if I put 1, 2, it's going to give me an error. Because there's no position, there's no index, there's no 12th index. That's
right.
The string we have is just 6 letters word.
Okay.
I have 7 letters word. So there's no 12th position. But to do slicing, which I said is getting, when you are indexing, you're only picking a character.
Mm.
With slicing, you are picking more than one character.
Mm.
Yeah. And if you're looking at the slide there, this is the pattern for slicing. The first number that you put in your square bracket is where you want to start. Then a colon. After that colon, what you have here is, what you specify there is where you want to stop.
Mm.
Let's say I want to bring out BRI now. I want to extract BRI. Where am I going to start? I'll be starting at, what's the position of B?
2.
2. That means that's my starting point, 2. What I want to extract is BRI. So where am I going to be stopping?
At I, which is 4, right? I, which is 4.
4. But according to the, what's it called? With the way Python works is, where you are going to stop, you have to add 1 to it.
Oh.
Most of the time, that's like the Python syntax, how Python works. Anything that has to do with indexing, slicing rather, your stopping point, you must add 1 to your stopping point. Just see it like that. I mean, that rule works for almost anything. Not just, we do slicing for some other collections as well, but that's how it works. Your stopping, you must add 1 to it.
Like, why do you have to add 1? Is it a principle?
That's the principle of, that's Python principle.
Okay.
Where I want to stop, I want to start from here. When you are starting, you specify the index of where you are starting itself. I want to start at B. and the index of B is 2. Yes, I'm picking that too. I want to stop at I. I is in position 4, right?
That's right.
0, 1, 2, 3, 4. I is in position 4. But then I have to put 5. That's just Python principle. And if I
Okay.
print this now, if I run this, let me close this floating meeting control. Okay, yeah. If I run this now, you see we have BRI.
Oh, wow.
So like that's the principle in Python. Your stopping point, you must add 1 to it. If I want to pick ice, if I want to extract ice, what's going to be my starting point?
I, which is 4.
I, which is 4. Then what's going to be my stopping point?
A, which is 6, but you add 1, which is going to be 7, right? A is 6. Yeah, that's right.
We have ice.
Mm.
So what if I want to pick A, R, and C? So according to the slicing pattern, after you specify your start and your stop, if you want to if you want to be skipping like a character or something like that, if you want to do something like skip, you want to skip a character, maybe you don't want it in order. That's when you use the step. You specify your step. That is basically step and skip, the same thing. Like how many characters do you want to skip? Do you want to be skipping? In this case, I want to skip what's it called? I want to pick A, R, and C. A, R, and C. ARC.
Okay.
Yeah, I want to pick ARC. I'll have to specify with that because I'm skipping. So I'll have to specify the 3 components, which is the start, stop, and step. And what's going to be my start? AR and C. I'm picking AR and C. What's going to be my start?
Which is A.
What the index? I'm talking about the index.
Oh.
0 plus 1, 1.
1. What's going to be my stop?
You're
C is
stopping
the last character that I want to pick.
C.
Yeah.
Okay, so that one will be 6.
Yeah, that's right.
Plus 1.
That's
6.
right.
6. Awesome. I want to be skipping by 1.
That's right.
I'll be skipping the character. Yeah. But then step also just see it like you had 1 to it. You had 1 to your skip, to the number of characters you want to skip.
Okay, so here to get
It's going to be 2.
Yeah, to get the A, we need to skip. You
we are
want to
skipping.
skip A.
I'm picking
So A
ARC.
is at the position of 3. 0, 1, 2. So it's gonna be 0, 1. So that one will be 2. Yes.
So what I want to, the way step works is, this is the whole string, right? So to get to the character that you are interested in, from the whole string, you are skipping F, right? You are skipping a character.
That's right.
Then after you've picked your, your character of interest, you are also skipping another 1 character to get to the next one that you want.
Which is
Yeah. So that means you are skipping one character. But again, the way Python principle is that you add 1 to it.
Every word that you skip, add 1. Is that correct?
What did you say?
Like, you said we skip F, right? Which is 0.
Which is 1. No, we are not talking about the index now. Step doesn't deal with, is not dealing with index. It's just dealing with numbers.
Numbers,
Count of characters that you are skipping.
Okay.
So at this point, we are skipping just 1 character. But
That's
according
right.
to Python's principle, we have to add 1 to that count. Or another way you can interpret it is you are saying pick every second character. skip
Okay.
one, then pick the one, like pick every second character from your start. Let me run this
Okay.
and see what we have. You say we have ARC.
Mhm.
So what happened is we are saying start from 1, 0, 1. That is start from A,
Mhm.
end at 6. That is stop at C.
Mhm.
That is, we are considering all this. We are considering AR. What our stop gives, for our start to stop, what it does is it gives us ABRIC. We are now saying once you have this, only pick from the start, pick every what's it called? Like two, count 1 and 2, and pick the one in the second position. A is the first character, then count 2, 1, 2. Which one is in position 2 after that? R. Pick R. After R, count 2 again, then pick the one that falls in that 2. After R, I 1, C is 2. That means pick C. That is one way you can see it. Or another way you can see it is always keep one character from the whole string. Or from, sorry, after your starting, after where you are your starting position, always keep one character. But Python principle says that if you are skipping one character, then add 1. I think that's the simple interpretation that you should go by now. From your starting point, you are skipping 1, right? But Python principle says if you are skipping 1, add 1 to it, just like your stop. Stop says if you are using index for stop, but if where you are stopping is where your exact character that you're interested in is say is in position n, then make it n plus 1. Step is saying if you are skipping one character, if you are skipping like a certain count, then make a certain count m, then make it m plus 1. Again, let me do another example for us. Let's say we have what's the spelling of Baltimore? Sorry, I have to sing this song. HIP, POPO. Okay, POPO.
That's
Is
it.
that right?
That's it. Yeah.
Okay.
Uh,
Animal.
uh-huh.
I'm interested in. You're going to do this for me now. Output. So I'm only interested in Popo.
POPO.
Yeah, POPO. So tell me the syntax. Tell me the syntax. Uh, let me call someone. Or let me just call Cowboy. Can you tell me the syntax?
So it's output animal, right? That's the output.
Yeah, I want to store what we want to extract. I want to store it in output. So
You put in not in brackets.
what am I going to do? Oh, we are even we are above this thing. We've used it. We're 8 minutes. But let's quickly do this and maybe we'll call it a day. I mean, you have the example here. You have the example here. You see the pattern here. It's very feasible.
You take the same pattern for print for output equals bracket animal.
What I want to do is to extract to extract Popo, POPO. So tell me the code that I'm going to use. I've declared the variable output. I want to store it in an output. So what's going to be what's the process for extraction itself?
Do you put equals bracket then animal inside? Then we write the
Is that the way?
not that one. not the what do you call them? The other bracket that is on print, my name. The one that is on my name. Is that the one that you put the bracket, those two brackets, that bracket? Then you put this one inside where the numbers are.
Can you dictate it properly? I don't want to assume what you're saying.
Yeah.
So
Like you see the one that you just gave us on top or where Fabricius, you say the print, then you put in brackets my name, right? So I'm saying on output, you put the same bracket, then you put animal inside. Then yeah. I can be wrong, but if everybody knows it can help out, that's fine.
no. I want you to say it.
Then the closed brackets, you put the big brackets, the big one.
We call it square brackets.
Square brackets.
Okay.
Then you said we are focusing on purple, right?
Popo, yeah, P-O-P-O.
Then the formula that you put up there with F is 0. Oh, sorry. F is 0, and let's say H is 0, I is 1, P is 2, O is 3, and we keep on going on and on. So we'll put like 0, 1, 2. That would be 2.
For the start, remember the pattern is start, colon, stop, colon, step. Right? Like the pattern, if you're indexing, the pattern is inside the square bracket, you have starts. The first one you specify is starts, then stop by step.
Oh, okay.
So you said 2, you are right.
0, 0, 1, 2. Then 0, 1, 2. Yeah, that one is 4 names. It's gonna be 0, 1, 2. Then do we put 3? And I think 3. This is what I'm thinking.
Is that where we're going to stop?
No, we stop at 0 again. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 0. That's 2, 3, 4. We stop at 5. 5 is the last stop. Then we
P
put
is in position 2. Then we have this 0 as 3, P as 4, and this as 5. Is that right?
0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think that's right. Because we started 2. You said
Don't think that is right.
H is 0. Then I is 1. Then P is 2.
The first
Then,
P is
yeah, it's 2. Yeah.
O,
then O is 3.
3.
Then P is
Letter
4.
P is 4.
Then the last O is 5.
The last O is 5.
It's
Okay.
5, yeah. Because you said you want to focus on Popo, right? P-O-P-O.
Popo. We are picking Popo, yeah.
Yeah.
5 is the stop, is where we are stopping.
That's where we are stopping.
How true is that? Let me call someone else to help then to
That's
continue.
right.
Sorry, Mr. Badley, are you there? I don't think you've. DT.
Oh, okay. Hey, I don't know the names. You said no, go ahead. Let him go ahead.
Oh, Mr. Fabrice, do you want to help?
I'm thinking about the dot join, so go ahead. I want to hear someone else.
Mr. Fabrice? Sorry, we've exceeded our time. We just want to do this and we'll call it a day.
Yeah, I've been trying to look at it too. So here I think I want to put 6 instead of 5.
Oh yeah, you add 1.
It's going to be
okay, Fabrice, thanks. You add 1.
you had one. Yeah, exactly. And we are not skipping anything, right? Are we skipping anything?
I don't P-O-P-O. I don't think we're skipping anything. P-O-P-O.
Yeah.
We are
Unless
not
We're not skipping anything because
we're not skipping anything. So it's as good as not specifying the step, or if you're
Yeah.
going to specify anything, since we are not skipping anything, it's going to be 0, right? But Python principle said you must add 1 to your step.
So that would be
so
That'll be one then.
It's
So
gonna
it's
be
something
one.
like one.
Okay.
Is that you
Okay.
don't specify it at all, or you put one there?
Okay.
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 Yeah. So let me comment this, and so there's an error. Though
There's an
I mean, this is going to run. This is going to run, but
uh-huh.
no, it didn't even run, and I'm glad it doesn't. It didn't run. So I
And
think this
yes, I wanted to say it should have been print instead of output or what? So print the output now.
exactly.
Then you check everything. Okay.
Yeah. This is going to run. It gave us popo. So you're right. But there's one. Is it contest? You made like a contest mistake, and
Uh,
that is the parentheses that you asked me to put.
uh-huh.
You don't need parentheses.
Oh, you don't
It
put them at
works.
all.
But the reason why you have this in parentheses is this parenthesis here is for the print function.
Uh,
It's
Oh,
because we are printing it. Remember, print is a function, and the way you
yeah.
identify function is print whatever you give to it. So
Uh,
what you want print what you want print to print, we have to put it inside the parentheses. So the parentheses belongs to print, not the slicing. The syntax
uh,
for the slicing is you specify you can look at this slide. After
yeah.
your string,
Uh-huh.
the string, it could be, I mean, if you stored it in a variable, S is going to represent your variable name or the
That,
string itself. Then followed by square brackets, your starting point, colon, your stopping point, colon, the step. Do you
huh.
get that? So it is because we are printing it, that is why you saw the parentheses there. You see, if I'm not storing if I'm not storing the substring, if I'm not storing it in a variable,
Uh-huh.
I would have just copied these and put it inside like this.
Ah, okay.
You
Okay.
see that? Yeah.
So what throws me off is like you say where you put print on Fabrice name, then that one you put output. So I think that's a massive technicality when you're dealing with Python for me, because when I look at the print and I look at the output, then I was thinking a little bit deeply, But when you said you put the print at the bottom, then you put the output there, you know.
Yeah, I put the app. So basically, like, see this pattern. I think it's going to, once you get this, it's going to help you in every other code.
That's right. That's right.
Print is a function.
Yeah.
Based on the properties of a function, after you've written the word, it is always followed by open and close parentheses.
Mm-hmm.
And there's what we call parameter or argument or like a message,
That's right.
which is what the function we use to do its work.
Mm.
Yeah. So now, what print does is to output whatever you give to it.
Whatever you give to it, yeah.
What do we want to output? What we want to output, we already save it in this is what we want to output, but we
That's
already save
right.
it in a variable
Mm.
called output. And that is why
That's,
we are printing output.
okay. Okay. That makes sense.
So
Yes.
when we had this,
Uh-huh.
what we want to print is my name, this slicing that we've done.
Uh-huh.
And of course, we've written our print. And
Mm-hmm.
what we want to print, what we want to print, we have to put it inside, which is
Mm.
this, my name, square brackets, 1C. So the slicing itself is being done in this. This is what is doing the slicing.
Yeah, that one you trick me a little bit. Now I get it.
Okay, yeah. So now I mean, this is clear now, right?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, all right. So now I believe you've understand indexing in Python and you've understood slicing. Indexing, when you are indexing, you are, let me give this example again. When you are indexing, you're picking just a character.
Mm.
It could be, you can be picking in hippopotamus now. I believe it's up to, so you can be picking a 6. You're picking the one, what's going to be the output? Let me print it. I'm printing animal, or I'm printing the 6th index. What's going to be the output?
the 6.
I'm picking the one at the sixth index, like position 6. So what will it be from hippopotamus?
Is that this a T?
Yeah, it's going to give us T.
That's right.
Awesome. So now everything we've been doing so far, we've been indexing forward. We've been doing what we call positive indexing. So please permit me, maybe let's just stop at like in 10 minutes. So quickly, I hope you're not tired.
No, that's fine. I don't know others.
Yeah,
Should
it's
we
fine by me
continue?
too.
Call it a day. Just for the,
We can go 10 minutes. It won't kill us.
yeah, just for 10 minutes. So what we've been doing so far is what we call positive indexing. You realize that when we are indexing, we've never used any we are using positive numbers like 2, 6, 1, and so on like that. So Python also allows negative indexing.
Okay.
And by negative indexing does it, positive indexing goes from left to right. But negative indexing goes from the very end to the left, from right to left.
Okay.
Now, if I do animal, and when you are doing that, there's nothing like -0.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, just like in mathematics, there's no -0. 0 is 0.
0, 0. Okay.
Yeah. So when we are doing negative indexing, it starts with 1, with -1, not -0 or anything. The last position is always -1. I already said that. So if I do animal -1, what do you think the output is going to be?
U.
The last index is always -1.
Okay.
If I do this, it's going to be S.
S will be the last index. Okay. Oh, the
Here will be L.
L.
No, no, I'm doing hippopotamus.
Hippopotamus.
Oh, it will be S.
Yeah. So if I put -2, what was it going to be?
So
U.
So we don't start from 0 if you're not coming from negative. You said there's no -0,
There's no
right?
-0. So
There's always 0.
we are starting from 1 if you are doing negative.
Oh, okay. Okay. You don't start from 0 at all.
It doesn't start from 0. So we are starting from 1.
Okay.
So if I do minus, I'm coming. If I do -11, what will it be?
Oops. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
H.
H. Yeah.
Awesome. And same approach, we can use it for slicing. If I want to do slicing, my starting point, I want to start from S. That's going to be -1. And I want to stop at T. So if I'm using negative indexing, S is -1, U is -2, M is -3,
5.
Yeah. 3, 4,
A
5.
is -4, T is
Minus.
-5.
Yeah, -5.
But again, we need to
Add 1.
increase
Oh,
it.
no.
Yeah, exactly. So this is going to be
-6.
-6.
Okay.
And if I print this now, I'm coming, nothing. Sorry, I didn't save, I think. What's the issue? -1 to -6. Oh. Why is it not working? I think we need to specify the smart. Okay. I don't know why this. Okay, I think I'm mixing these up. So -6 and Oh, okay. So the principle is that when you are using a negative indexing, when you're doing negative indexing, or negative slicing rather, you need to specify the step. You need to specify the step, and the step should also be negative. The step should also be negative. And when you specify, when you make everything negative, what it does is it gives you the what's it called in reverse. Let me run this so that I can just explain this quick. Actually, just on rare occasions that I've had to like do this negative indexing, maybe that's why I'm mixing it up. But it's very important for one thing. If you're, let's say you have a question that says you should reverse like a script. You see, we have SUMAT, we have S coming up, picking S first, then followed by U, followed by M, followed by A, and followed by T. Like, do you see the pattern like that?
Yeah, it's
That's right.
reverse.
It's reverse,
Yeah,
yeah.
he's doing it in reverse. When you're doing negative indexing, it does this in reverse. We are saying start from the last one, then go backward in that same order. That is pick S, U, M, A, and this S is -1, U is -2, M is -3, A is -4, T -5. Because you always have to like add one to it. We are also subtracting one from it. So it's also a -6. We are stopping at -6, which covers all these. But then having it as -1, that means we are not skipping anything, right? When you have your
So
step as 1, you are not skipping anything, right? Yeah, and because we have it as negative, it is now doing it in reverse. That is why we are not having it, we don't have TAMUS. What we have is SUMAT.
so the number that you start with, you have to finish with the same number.
I don't get that.
Like, because you have a negative, you start with -1, right? Then you finish with -1. So my question is like, why would you finish with another -1?
That's just how that's the principle when you're using negative indexing.
Okay. So
Mostly,
let's say you choose a different number. Let's say it's -2 and -6. So I have to put -2 again at the end. Is that correct?
if I put -2, it's going
No,
to
no,
be
like
skipping. Step still does what it does. Step is going to skip. So in this case now, it's going to just pick S, M, and T.
oh, okay. SMNT. Okay, okay.
You get that?
Yeah.
So if I ask you to write a code that reverses a string now, so this is -1 to -11 and -1, and that's just how you reverse it.
Reverse the whole thing, yeah.
Oh, it's going to be -12, sorry.
And minus one more.
Yeah, one more. Then you see we have summa
Yep.
to OP.
Mm.
So, and one other thing I should point out is that most of the time, if you are, let's say I want to slice, let's go back to positive slicing, and I want to slice, I want to take Potamus. I want to take Potamus. Potamus. Where am I what was my starting point?
Potamus. Potamus.
That's going to be H is 0, I is 1.
Go to positive. Okay, positive.
Is 2.
Okay.
I'm using positive in this thing now, indexing now.
Okay.
O here is 3 and P is 4. Because I'm taking everything outside this, after this P, what I want to get is Potamus. So you can as well do away with specifying your stop.
Okay.
So if I run this now, it will give me Potamus. So when you write it like this, what you are saying is start from this and pick everything from that point onward. And And in that case, I'm not having to specify the ending of, the last index.
Automatic.
So
Okay.
sometimes you will be wanted to like start from a point and pick everything. You don't want to know the number of characters that follows after that, but just pick it from this point endward. From this point forward.
Okay. But that rule, does it also apply to the negative or no?
It also applies to negative. So if
Okay.
I pick -2 now, that is, I'm starting at U, right?
Yeah.
And I'm saying, give me everything from U
All the way.
backward.
Okay.
And if I do that, let me run. I think I don't need to specify. I'm coming. US. It gives me US. Okay, so when you do it like this, it actually gives you from that. It gives you from that point forward.
Okay. Okay.
This thing can be tricky, but let me not go to that part. Just know your positive. let,
That's right. That's right.
know your positive indexing.
And your negative.
Know how the
Okay.
positive one works, and know
Okay.
how what's it called, the negative works.
Okay.
You can play around with. Right now, if I need to do anything, what I just need to do is to play around with it and see the one that gives me what I want.
That's right. That's right.
So that's just how I go about this slicing. But the important one, the one that I know pretty well, because I've had to use it in many of my code, is having to reverse a string and having to do positive indexing. Just know your positive indexing well. It will come in handy for a lot of logic that you'll be writing.
That's right.
So let's just leave it at that. And these are just like illustrations. Like how I already explained all this. You start at position 0 and just stop, you're adding 1 to it. So that's basically what that one is saying. And also for negative indexing, you can practice some of these examples. I think I uploaded a slide to Google Classroom already.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah. So you can just practice with it. I will also add I will add an assignment to what I already gave us. And it will include all this. You have to practice all these things. So that will further reinforce what we've talked about.
True.
Yeah. So, and if you maybe you get stuck or anything, you can watch the videos again, or even maybe get a textbook or go online on Google. You can read more, like read some other tests and whatever you think will be helpful to you. So, but one thing you don't do is, please don't give it to AI to give you the solution.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah, don't give it to AI to give you the solution. When you know it to an extent, you can start using AI to ease your work. But now that you are learning the fundamentals, don't use AI to arrive at a solution or to get your solution. Yeah.
Okay.
So we've talked about slicing as well. So the next thing is just to talk about, there are so many other functions. Like I said, the one we've been talking about, we've been using a lot is the print, str. We also have float, which is used to convert like a string. If you have a string, let's say you have something like this, you have a string like this, 2.3, and you want to convert it to float, to a number. So that you can use it. You can apply the float function. You can apply the float function, and it's going to like that. Now let's just say we want to do plus 3. So this is going to work now. If you did not apply the float to it, it can work. We are trying to do concatenation of an integer and a string. But to make this possible, we can do floats, and we can do the typecasting that is converted to floats. And let me try and print it so that you see what the output looks like. So then this will be possible now. We have 5.3. So this string value has been converted to float. If we convert it to an integer, because 2.3 is not an integer, if we had to convert 2.3 to a number, it's supposed to be a float. So if we convert it to integer, I think it's going to raise an error, or just pick the whole point part of it, the whole number part of it. Okay, it raised an error. Yeah, of course, because 2.3 cannot be an integer, so it has to be float. Yeah, so then we also have integer. If you have a string value that has just a whole number, that if you convert it to a number, it's going to give you an integer. You can do the typecasting as well. Let's say we have 2 as as a string. You can use the hints to convert it to integer. So then we have char. So this char and odd, you can disregard them. They are more, I've never had to use them, but then I know what they do. So you used to convert it to like bits, bytes. If you want to convert this byte that you do in mathematics, convert a decimal point number to byte, or you want to go from byte to what's it called, a decimal number. So basically, one thing is the way programming or computer works is there's what we call ASCII code, ASCII. So which is like a global standard of representing characters in computer. So those are what this odd and this char works. These are what they do. It's converted to an ASCII character or ASCII representation, but you won't use it. You won't be needing it for your data analysis or even for most of the things you'll be doing in the industry. You won't be needing this. And we have length. So what length does is how many what length does is it returns the number of characters you have in a collection. And let me use it. Let me try and print. Sorry, please. I just want to be done with this slide. Length of animal. How many characters do we have in hippopotamus?
11.
11, right? So if I put print length of animal now, it's going to give me, let me comment every other thing. So if I say print length of animal, it's going to give me 11. So that's the function of length. We have so many other functions like that. And I've used a type before, which is used to get the data type of an object or of a value. If I put type now, if I put type of animal, what's the type of animal? What's the data type of animal? What's the data type of
hippopotamus, or
the value is
the type of animal is a
String.
string.
Is a string. So if I
Is a
print
string.
it now, you see it says class
String.
or type. This is the same thing. It's saying string. And if I say type of 24, it's going to give me an integer. It's saying int. So that's another way. And we have help. Let's say you don't know, help actually gives you the documentation of anything. Let me go to interactive mode just to, I'm in Python shell now. You can see that, right? So let me say help of print. I want to read it. I don't know what print does. So I want, if I use help, it will give me the documentation, right? The explanation of how it works. You can see it says help on built-in function, print in module, print. So it's saying arguments, the parameters you can specify. There are some other parameters aside from whatever message you want to print out that you pass. There's also a parameter called separator, which maybe in the next class we'll be using. I will be giving an example where you can use that. So basically, it's just what help does is to give you the documentation of a particular function.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what help does. And we have so many other functions like that. As we go on in these in this program, you'll be getting to see them. We also have inputs. The same way we have print, which is to output something to you. If you want to take something from the user, we have inputs. So more examples, I will be demonstrating them in subsequent classes like that. But I will upload the assignments later on, probably this weekend. Then when you have to like solve everything, everything will become even clearer to you. So that will be the end for this session. The next session we'll be talking about if statements. And hopefully before then you would have even grasp everything we talk about in this slide. So thank you, and that will be the end for this session. If you have any question, you can also drop them in maybe the Google Classroom or in the WhatsApp chat.
Okay.
So be glad to answer you. So please, and apologies for going beyond our time.
Oh, that's
okay.
fine. Thank you.
So
Thank you very much.
Yeah,
Good night.
Thank you.
All right.
please don't hesitate to ask questions. Anything, even when you are solving your assignments, if you are stuck in
Okay.
anything, ask on
Sounds
the
good.
Okay.
and we interact.
Mm.
All right. So have a wonderful night.
All right. Thank you.
Thanks.
Yeah.